I do have some news this morning on a missing persons. The report was filed May 28th, reported person missing Terry Wayne Roberts from 1445 Allen Ridge Road, Empire, Alabama. Yesterday afternoon late, forensics determined, in fact, that this gentleman we found on Allen Ridge Road, which had been covered up by a mattress on May 30th, was in fact Terry Wayne Roberts. We had already been investigating the matter, even though we didn't know exactly who it was. And as a result of that information, we worked into the late morning hours of this morning, 3 or 4 o'clock this morning, started yesterday afternoon, along with members of the DA staff right along with us. As a result of the investigation, we have taken 3 people into custody. The first individual is Kayla Harris. She's the stepdaughter of Mr. Roberts. She's age 23, and James Lee Harris, age 19. He is the brother of Kayla Harris and the stepson of Mr. Roberts. Jacob Orr, age 22. He is the boyfriend of Kayla Harris. All 3 are presently in the Walker County Jail. Charges are pending later today. And I will let Mr. Adair speak to you about the charges. I would like to think that my investigators here at this sheriff's office did a tremendous job, and I appreciate each and every one of them for the hard work. Without that, we wouldn't be here at this point today, but we have 3 people in jail in the disappearance of Mr. Roberts. Located, buried under a mattress on the side of the road in a ravine. We found the body on May the 30th. One of our investigators, following up on the missing persons report, driving slowly down the road, smelled a strong odor, got out and examined, and that's when they found Mr. Roberts buried under a mattress in a ravine. And this is what led to where we are here today. And I'll let our DA speak to the charges on these folks.
I want to express also appreciation for y'all being here today. It's always with a heavy heart that you have to announce that we've had a homicide here in our community. I want to congratulate and tell the public how good a job the investigators did in this case. Sheriff's investigators did a fine job last night. They kept at it, and that's what led to the arrest of these 3 individuals. Later today, I expect that there will be charges, one of which will be a murder charge, and possibly more murder charges. But at least one this afternoon, and possibly hindering prosecution charges this afternoon, involving the 3 people that the sheriff just detailed for you. But also I want to introduce Brian Warren with my office, Assistant DA, Kristen Kiefer, who's not here, and Chris Scherer, all 3 of them very instrumental in the case and doing in their efforts to assist the Sheriff's Department. But again, I want to really congratulate the hard work that led to the quick resolution of this case up to this point. Mr. Darrell Moat, investigator Chuck Tidwell, Ralph Williams, I don't know who else, but I know there was at least those 3 out there, and numerous others. But this is a very tragic event, and we look forward to the next part of this, which will be the preliminary hearing, initial appearance of these suspects.
I want to leave a couple couple of our investigators out. It's Brian, Brian Keaton and Ray Couch. They both worked extremely hard last night collecting the evidence at the residence where this homicide occurred. I was out with them after 11 o'clock last night executing the search warrant, and I personally observed them working extremely hard, and it was kind of on a two-way track. We were doing the search warrant while investigators here, Chuck Tidwell and Darryl Moat, were interrogating the suspects here at the office. So it was on a two-track system, and it worked out very well for everybody. And we just appreciate everybody working with us, the DA's office working with us as always, and I appreciate Bill and his office. And like I said before, they are our legal advisors, and they keep us on track where when we hand this off, there's not any problems, and so that's works out very well for us. And thank y'all again for coming, and I appreciate y'all's interest, and the family does too. And we can put some closure to this case today.
Have the suspects been cooperative at this point?
Well, somewhat.
Do we know the motive at this point?
I know what they told us, but at this point, I'm not sure that that's something we want to go into.
We really don't need to go into the facts of the case. Of course, everybody's presumed to be innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and I think it'd probably be a wrong thing to do to go into the facts of the case. I will say that we appreciate the work of the Alabama Department of Forensic Sciences. Even though the state legislature continues to underfund them tremendously, they worked long hours on this case. Got on the phone with us, got on the phone with the investigators. The work that they did was invaluable in helping us unlock some of the keys to this case. I do want to express thanks to them.
Would you mind just going over the timeline of when this person was first reported missing and then discovered?
Yes, on May the 28th, his brother filed a missing persons report for Mr. Roberts. And on the 30th, which I believe was Monday, May the 30th, the investigator was following up on the missing persons case and was on the Allen Ridge Road. And as you know, in a lot of these cases, it's foul odor. I mean, from experience and training, that our guys know what to look for and what their senses. And Chuck was easing along Allen Ridge Road and smelt the foul odor and stopped to check it out. And it turned out they discovered the body under a mattress off of a steep ravine there, about 30 foot off the road, something like that. And yesterday afternoon, about 4:30, forensics advised us that, in fact, based on certain items we'd sent them and identification information, we knew that, in fact, it was Mr. Roberts. And then the investigation picked up quite a bit of steam after that, and that's where we're here today.
Do we know how? Can we say how he was killed?
He was shot in the head.
I guess just preliminary arraignment hearings, all that stuff. Is there a timeline for that?
Probably be looking at first of next week on initial appearance. Short time after that, within a matter of a couple of weeks, we'll probably have a preliminary hearing. I think that one thing I would always stress to the media, and this is obviously you got family members that are just now hearing this. We have been in contact with them to let them know about the results of this. But this is something that for our community, these kind of things are tragic. But I do want to assure the community that their sheriff's office and their DA's office, I think all law enforcement's been very responsive on all cases, and especially this one. and just, we're glad to be at this point. And again, to reiterate, just very pleased with the work that was done. Nobody went home, everybody stayed after this thing, continued pursuing it from the very first, when we knew that we had a death. So there's a lot of good police work in this case.
Any possibility of any other arrests at this point?
That's possible,
It is possible.
yes.
And forgive me if you went over this, are the suspects local?
They're from Mr. Roberts' residence.
Yeah, okay.
They were all living at the same location.